Faster, yeah?
Let me have it how it was actually. All right.
120, so let's do 115.
Yeah. The piece I've just played is from an Afrobeat song that was put together in the studio. We did an album basically in a day, and all the bass lines were put together from the drum groover I was listening to, and then had the idea to play it like the way I just did.
Who have you worked with?
Worked with Roy Ayers. I worked with Crusaders. I did a short tour with them. Most of my playing career has been like in the studio as a session musician. I played on Jamiroquai album, Dynamite. I did 4 tracks on that. Willie Young, John Newman, the latest guy that I've just worked with, playing on the 2 songs that was released, Love Me Again and Cheating. The short tour with the Crusaders, with the great Wilton Fell and Wayne Henderson, did a tour of Europe. I've worked with Karen White recently at the Jazz Cafe, and also Melba Moore.
So what's been your most favourite gig then?
I think the Crusaders was my favourite, and also Roy is. These 2 has to come in the same category. Roy was a very, very nice guy to work with. He was very respectful of his musicians, and Crusaders were the same as well. And it was great being told that to play street life, how to play street life, was not how I found it to be. There's a certain way to play it by Wilton Feller himself. Who played bass on that track,
So when because you were on those gigs and you were learning from some of the most, I guess, great people, what was your most favourite moment on stage?
Being introduced by Wilton Felder as his favourite bass player of that moment, because I learned from what he said and I took it all on board. And after playing with him, on one night of the shows, he just turned around and said to me, "You're my favourite bass player from England." That was the moment for me, because I respect that man so much.
So you've been playing. I know where you came from, but can you tell us why you started playing bass? What made you play bass?
Right, I started off playing piano, classical piano, at the age of 10, and when I got to 12, the lady who taught me died suddenly So I suddenly decided I didn't want to do it anymore because that lady was like a grandmother to me, and she taught me so well. And just like for me, there would be no one else who could teach me the same way. So I just lost all heart and decided to just don't play piano anymore. Now going to church one day, I saw a young guy, was maybe about 2 years older than me, playing bass, and I just thought that's the instrument I want to play. So I took that up, and then that's how it all started. I was like 12, nearly 13 when I started playing bass.
Wow. So why did you like playing at church? What was great about playing bass at church?
Well, because I grew up in church, and it seemed like an easy transition for me to just play in church, you know. Yeah, basically that's it.
What did you learn from playing in church?
I learned that your heart is important in playing. Your feelings are important in playing. It's not just about picking up the bass and playing. You gotta put your heart into it, and you gotta feel what you're playing. And church teaches you it's all about spirituality, the heart, feeling. It's not just about playing, you know.
So if you had to choose, I know this is a hard question. If you had to choose your ideal band, who would it be?
If I had to choose a band, it would be Jose Joyet on drums. There's two people, Jose Joyet on drums or Tony Mason on drums. Those two guys for me is like the icing on the cake when it comes to groove and, you know, being aware of who you're playing with and what group of guys you're working with, you know, the sound produced and all that. So yeah, those two guys, Jose and or Tony. On keys, it would have to be Luke Smith. There's three people: Luke Smith, Howard Francis, and a guy called Scotty Bayliss, who I work with quite a lot these days. Also, on guitar it would be Mike Brown, a guy called Miles Kane, American, and also Chris Newlands, who worked with the All Stars, another American player, and Tim Cansfield. Those guys. This Andrew Smith also. I mustn't forget Andrew Smith.
Oh yeah.
You know, who I've worked with as well. He's amazing.
What's next for you?
I would like to be doing some teaching. Go back to playing in church because, like, you know, for me that's where it started, and I'd like it to be still be part of my life. Also, to do some further education, to doing bass, you know, to do some more studying, basically, and to maybe launch some kind of like music school for younger people coming up. Basically, yeah. I mean, touring also, of course, you know, but yeah, playing in general. My advice to young people coming up would be to, whatever instrument you're going to play, make sure that you put your heart and soul into it. And don't forget, there's a common phrase that's used by most legends and people like that. Less is more, basically. It's not all about your chops and all that. Yes, it's important to have the chops, but it's not all about that, because when you play with a band, you're playing with a group of people who, it's a team. So be part of the team, not be on your own, because you can't work like that.